Thank you, Madam Chair. It's the border. It's the border. It's the border. We have heard about messaging. We have heard about managing, all that sort of stuff. And it's still, here we are. So, the bill under consideration this morning provides $64.8 billion for the Department of Homeland Security. When we hear about turning our backs, that's an increase of $2.9 billion above the fiscal year 24 level. The bill prioritizes investments that make the border, remember it's about the border, more secure, and makes appropriate cuts to policies and programs that, quite frankly, we don't think work. So when we talk about value judgments and stuff like that, if you think the record on the southern border has been a successful thing for immigration, we respectfully disagree. We have heard from the professionals in the field, our Border Patrol agents and CBP officers who are being crushed with dealing with an, dare I say, unprecedented flow of migrants day after day. This bill supports them through real policy change, not just words. Our colleagues across the aisle are content to treat the border crisis as an issue that can be managed. They throw huge sums of money at the problem the failed policies created. It does not work. And you say, well, what do you mean? You have the flow across the border, and now it has become a problem everywhere else in the country. What do school districts do? What do housing people do? What do law enforcement people do? I mean, it's fair to focus on the border, but the impacts are not just, this is just kind of that deal there. So, law enforcement professionals don't want to manage the border. They want to enforce the law. Not the law that we're talking about recently, the law that has been on the books for a long time. Dare I say there are some executive orders that may put the interpretation of the law at issue. They want to enforce the law for us to change the course to end the chaos. If you think what's happening there is a nice, calm thing and it just needs more resources for management, I respectfully disagree. My colleagues want to provide hundreds of millions of dollars in grants to nonprofit organizations for transportation and other services that only further incentivizes the immigration rush that we've got. If you can get across, we'll take it from there. And what we'll take it means gives additional services for transportation, nonprofits reduce encounters to deter anyone from crossing illegally. No, they don't. This enables all that. So we cut funding for that program. You've heard about border management, shelter services. That's a couple of $2 billion. The numbers are right. Quite frankly, that's one of the funding sources that has been used to transport people all around the country, sometimes on airliners, sometimes in the middle of the night, but nonetheless, to manage, we got all these people here, we got to get them spread out as soon as possible. So, Madam Chair, time for plain talk. We zeroed that account out. Oh my God, you did what? Yep. And you know what? Do any of us think the Senate will leave it at zero? No. But while we're talking about our colleagues in the Senate, this bill last year got zipped in the way of, well, how about this policy, that policy? None. Big win for you, I guess, if you're on that side of the fence. But guess what? We're going to create some things where if you want some money back for that, and you want it restricted so it isn't a slush fund to implement policies that are not on the books in terms of statute or regulation, then guess what? That's zeroed out, as are the funds to nonprofits. The criticism there, spot on. But it's all seen as a way to facilitate huge amounts of people coming over, processing them away from the border as soon as possible. So it's not border cities. I mean, they're hardened and whatever, not that they don't need help. It's cities and counties across the country. The answer, according to 3 years' worth of record-high illegal immigration, in our opinion, is a resounding no. So we cut that funding. Last year, CBP recorded 3.2 million encounters. To put it in perspective, that's about 11 times the population of the largest city in my district. That's just at the southern border, 1 year. Last year, we funded $1.7 billion for tents to process an unprecedented number of aliens that continue to cross between ports of entry under this administration's open border policies. Has spending billions of taxpayer dollars for processing tents along the southern border just to release aliens into the interior at a rapid pace reduced illegal immigration at all? Quite the contrary. So in this bill, we eliminated that funding. And in the middle of an election year, the administration just announced a proclamation to, quote, shut down the border if encounters between the ports of entry reach a certain level. We've been beyond those levels for a while now. Quite an announcement. I heard somebody earlier speak about, oh, if this is about messaging, well, I guess in some areas it is absolutely about messaging. And oh, by the way, all of those previous administration policies, shelter in place, stuff like that, that kind of, kept things to a cooperative between two countries and some sort of manageable level, nope, those are all out the door at the beginning of this. That's why this bill invests in tried and true methods of securing the border that men and women in the field are asking for. More agents, more detention beds, more technology, and, I know this is bad, physical barriers. This bill makes the following border security investment: sustains funding for 22,000 Border Patrol agents, $300 million for border security technology, a record in that area if somebody thinks anybody's turning their back on anybody. That includes autonomous surveillance towers, mobile surveillance platforms, counter-tunnel equipment, and a significant investment in counter-drone capability. $600 million for border wall because we know physical barriers work. And finally, $305 million in non-intrusive inspection equipment and upgrades so that we can detect fentanyl at our ports of entry. That's right, this bill does that. In addition to our efforts at the border, the bill includes funding for critical immigration enforcement efforts, such as $3.1 billion to support 50,000 detention beds for ICE. This is 8,500 more than were funded last year and 16,000 more than this administration asked for. Yes, we have a disagreement on how many is enough. $822 million for flights and ground transportation for ICE to execute its statutory authority to remove more than 1.4 million migrants who are still in this country despite having final orders of removal. In case anybody didn't catch that, that's to transport people south, not north, east, and west. $60 million to hire more than 250 new law enforcement officers to investigate transnational criminal activity and keep our communities safe from those who seek to do us harm. Translation, fentanyl. Those folks are here to work that issue, which, last I heard, was invasive, pervasive, and needs more help. The bill also makes critical investments outside the southern border. For TSA, we provide $178 million to speed up computed tomography screening device efforts at the nation's airport. New technology that's available that has been rolled out at some airports, but frankly, the administration had it on a 15-year funding cycle. By the time all of our airports get that, I'm sure there will be new and better technology that will make this obsolete. So what does the bill do? Puts it on a 5-year thing. Get that out to the airports, make the flying public safer, so we double the requested amount to pursue those things. And then we get to China. As we continue to grow in terms of having to meet a challenge of China's military, economic, and political influence in the Indo-Pacific, the U.S. must have a persistent presence in the region. This bill expands Coast Guard operations in the Indo-Pacific with additional capacity and capability to include $335 million for 4 fast response cutters to increase deployments in the region, $60 million for a service life extension to enable the Coast Guard to deploy another medium endurance cutter, $4.2 million for increased operations fund for the Coast Guard to interact and conduct exercises with our allies in the Indo-Pacific so that we're ready to go if we need to because we practiced with our friends. The bill funds the core responsibilities of the department and protects the homeland. What it doesn't do is fund the failed policies that further contribute to chaos at our southern border. That's how you really support the hardworking men and women of DHS protecting the nation. We need to change course on the border. We sincerely believe that. Interestingly enough, so do many mayors of large cities across the nation, regardless of their political affiliation. We need to change that course, not through gimmicks, but through real policy and funding changes. This bill is a step in the right direction. I urge my colleagues to support the bill, and I yield back, Madam Chair.